Love is the subject we think we know all about. We're experts. Poets write about it. It is the subject of most songs, films, and plays. It seems to be fundamental to our lives. Yet there's tension, jealousy, and possessiveness. Is hate the dark twin of love? Or does love stand alone, without an opposite? Another confusion is equating love only with sex, possession, and desire. As the song says, is that all there is? Krishnamurti has called love the flame without smoke. Let us clear the smoke and perhaps find the flame. Krishnamurti on love.
Is love pleasure? Is love desire? Is love thought? Is love something that you hold, possess? Is love that you worship? You understand? Worship. The statue, the image, the symbol. Is that love? The symbol, the statue, the picture is put together by thought. Your prayers are put together by thought. Is that love? Please go into it for yourself. So, can we, through negation of what is not love, negate completely in oneself, totally put aside entirely all that which is not love? Then that perfume is there. And that perfume can never go once you have put aside completely those things which are not love. Then love, which goes with compassion, has its own intelligence. It's not the intelligence of thought, not the intelligence of scientific mind, brain. When one has that love, that compassion, there is no grief, no pain, no sorrow. If there is love, then you will never kill another. Never. So it is an immense thing to come upon it. Nobody can give it to another. Nothing can give it to you. But if you, in your being, you put aside all that which is not, all that which has thought put together, the rituals, all that thing goes on, the special dresses. When you are really, when you, with all your core problems, are totally empty, then the other thing is, which is the most positive thing, most practical thing. Like the cool breeze from the ocean, this breeze. You can shut it out or live with it. When you live with it, it's totally a different dimension. There is no path to it. There is no path to truth, either yours or mine. No path whatsoever. Christian, Hindu, sectarian, God. So one has to live it. You can only come to it when you have understood the whole nature, psychological nature and structure of yourself. What is love? If it has a cause, I love you because, then obviously it's not love. Let's be clear on that, right? I love God because I hope someday He'll help me. I love my wife because some, etc. I don't have to go into all that. Or my girlfriend. So, if we are very clear that love has no cause, it hasn't. If it has, then it is not love. It's a convenience, self-satisfaction, it is gratification, companionship, escape from loneliness and all that kind of stuff. But if it is real, it has no cause. If I'm attached to some principle, to some belief, to some faith, and that's my strength, my anchor. And then I talk about compassion. Go to the world, go to China and help there, or India, the poor people. Is that compassion? Or is it pity, sympathy, kindness, generosity? Which I call compassion. Or compassion cannot possibly exist when there is any kind of anchorage. when I'm no longer a Hindu, a Buddhist, Catholic, and so on. You follow? Which is, compassion has its own intelligence. It is unintelligent to have an anchorage of security in some deity, some symbol, some faith. That indicates lack of intelligence. But when there is compassion, it has its own intelligence. So intelligence has no cause. Where there is compassion and intelligence, that very intelligence is action. But I haven't got it. It's good, sounds good in this tent. But when I leave it, it's gone. I've been stimulated by the speaker or by somebody else, and it's not there. And that's a tragedy. So, again, what am I to do? How am I to capture that flame? You see, love is not an experience. All experiences are sensual. Reactions. As love is not desire, pleasure, reward, escape from one's own misery, if one sees that, observes it, then out of that observation, the thing may flower. Is love the expression of desire? Is love sexual appetite fulfilled? Is love a thing that can be cultivated, that can be made to grow? When I have no love, I think about it, I do all kinds of things to it so that I know how to love my neighbor.
That would be a denial of it.
So, is love pleasure? And apparently that it is now.
Seems to have been debased to that.
I mean, not actually it is that. It's what we would call love. Love of God.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what God is. And yet I'm supposed to love him. And therefore I transfer my pleasures of the world, of things, of sex, to a higher level, which I call God. It is still pleasure. So, what is pleasure in relation to love? What is enjoyment in relation to love? What is joy? The unconscious feeling of joy. The moment I recognize joy, it's gone. And what is the relationship of joy, enjoyment, and pleasure to love? Love has been identified with sex, love making.
The very construction, love making love,
It's a horrible thing.
is
I think this is very important. What the Western civilization has put this over the whole of the earth, through cinemas, through books, through pornography, through every kind of advertisement, stories. This sense of love is identification with sex, which is pleasure. Basically, is love pleasure? I can only answer, it is not, when I've understood pleasure. And understand, not verbally, but deeply, inwardly, see the nature of it, the brutality of it, the divisive process of it. Because pleasure is always divisive. Enjoyment is never divisive. Joy is never dividing. It's only pleasure that's dividing. When I enjoy a good meal or a good sunset or see a beautiful tree or woman, whatever it is, at that moment, if it doesn't end, it becomes pleasure. If the mind, thought carries over that enjoyment and wants it to be repeated the next day, it has become pleasure. It's no longer enjoyment. I enjoy, and that's the end of it. My friend who's married and has had several marriages, he thinks that he still loves his present wife. And he says to me in our conversation, I can't lose her, I must hold on, because my life is empty without her. You know all this, don't you? I can't let her go. She wants to do something totally different from me, and it may lead her away from me. So I will yield to her. I will suppress my desire, my wanting something else, but I'll accept her and follow her. But inwardly, there is conflict all the time between her and me. I have reduced the whole immensity of love, which is extraordinary, which I don't understand, to something so trivial. That is, I'm attached, I'm possessed, I don't want to lose. If I lose, I'm unhappy. If he really sees that attachment is not love, then he can go to his wife and say, I love you, but I'm not attached to you? What would happen? She might throw a brick at me, walk away, because her whole life is to be attached to the furniture, to ideas, to children, to the husband, you follow? So then what is my relationship? Who have seen that love is not attachment, is not jealousy, is not ambition, competition. Then to me that's a reality. not just a verbal structure. And what's my relationship to her, who's quite the different? Go on, sir, it's your problem, not mine. Can I, who have understood this whole phenomena with all its depth, with that quality of love, compassion, intelligence, bring about a change in her? That is, if she is at all sensitive, she is at all observant, listening to what I am saying, wants to understand each other, then there is a possibility of her changing. If she puts a wall, as most people do, then what am I to do? Go on, sir. Don't look at me. Look at yourselves. Is love desire? You know what desire is? May I go into it briefly? I see a nice house or a garden or a nice picture of furniture or a nice woman, and there is sensation, the sea. The observing contact, then sensation comes. Thought takes sensation and makes that into an image, right? I see you beautifully dressed, clean, healthy, bright, good brain and all the rest of that. I see that, the way you talk, the way you do this and that and so on. Then thought says, I wish I were like him or her. At that moment, desire is born. So what is love? When love exists where there is hate and fear, where there is competition, comparison, where there is conformity, agreeing or disagreeing, go into all this stuff. Or is love nothing to do with all this? Is love something in the brain, inside the skull? Or is it something entirely beyond form and time? And where there is self-interest, there cannot be love. Obviously, so you consider all this for oneself. Love is not yours or mine, it's love, right? I may be married, have children, sex, and all the rest of it. In all that there may be tenderness, generosity, politeness, kindliness, yielding, tolerating. That's not all, that is not love. So compassion and love are not separate, they are one. And can one live like that? You understand? Can one have this in one's life? Not in abstract moments or in moments when you are sitting by yourself on the sofa or walking in the woods, a flash, a scent, a perfume that seems for a second to transform your whole existence. Can we live our daily life with that perfume? Because that compassion has its own intelligence. And that holistic intelligence, the whole quality of that intelligence can only come about with the ending of sorrow and love.